Duff, what are we doing today? Rally wheel things. Zach's new tires. He even wore the decals off of them. Old Double D's getting a facelift. The Chin's doing the work. He's usually doing the editing, but I told him there's too much gap in there, so we got to start with the back. He got one of them flip kits from the land where they eat bats and such. That's real good. Look at them welds. Not bad. Not bad at all. What do you got into this setup here?
I think that was probably the whole package was maybe like 120.
Oh, metric bolts. So that's perfect to go with a 81.
Yeah.
So he's got a little Zep sprayed on the U-bolts. He's gonna do a pinion seal at the same time. You should probably put a breather hose here on this.
It's short.
It's differential. Yeah, we got. It's good. Good enough. Good enough.
We got some new brake hose also to put on.
Oh yeah, new brake hose. There did wheel cylinders and shoes, right?
Yep.
There we go. So I guess looks like he's got the shocks off. Oh, he got shock extension kit too. He said the Monroes, they retract, they don't extend. What's this? Is that rubbish?
It was rubber. That was before, I think.
Oh man.
That was probably when they had those Buick rallies on there.
Buick, don't look fresh. Anyway, yep, put a new U-joint in it when he had it apart one of the other 4 times.
Yeah, scattered the needle bearings everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's right. Zach is good at picking up needle bearings off the floor. Lots of practice. So, like I said, take the U-bolts off, finish this shock, pull the drive shaft. Might as well just take the brake line off because I think we're gonna have to drop that out, and then we're gonna have to swing the leaf spring down to get it over it.
I think probably.
I see you got the squirrel piss on there, so. All right. Check back in a minute. Well, Chinstrap, he's got the diffie out here. Gonna whammy a pinion seal in and probably screw that up, but I done hooked the park brake cables, forgot about that. We're gonna have to heat up the U-bolts, he says. Couldn't get a couple of them with the BDBH. There's a guy with a video on the big M18 Milwaukee wrench. 1,440 foot-pounds of amazingness. So yeah, here we go. Pinion seal. Then you just put those flippers on there. Oh, you gotta drop these down yet. Let me set it on top. You got some work yet to do.
Yep.
All right, check back a little bit. Next update, Duff's hanging out in the sun, enjoying himself. Zach's cleaning up his mess. We got the pinion seal in. I think the pinion seal is bad because that breather hose was chock full of dirt. You don't want that because that pressure's got to go somewhere. Pushes out the pinion seal. Zach's got his new brake hose on. Got the U-bolts heated up, cut loose. So ready to go back in. Did have to take the front leaf spring bolts out so we could have clearance, because otherwise we gotta take an exhaust out, but it was easier to just drop the springs right out. I had to use the air hammer to knock the one hanger bolt out on this side just because it would not come. The other side Zach was able to get out with a hammer. I like how you leave the old exhaust bracket under here.
Yeah, I gotta cut that off, yeah.
That's on the to-do list. I think that's about it. Zach's got his mess cleaned up, back to work. Oh, he's got another mess over here. He'll clean that up later. Maybe. Just kidding. Duff has relocated to the shade. Zach's gonna take the grinder and do the crisscross applesauce, he says, to these rivets, and then the air hammer, knock those off to get rid of the bump stops and the bracket, otherwise they're gonna be tight up against them. And then did find some 3/8 fuel hose. Oh look, hey, there's Dave. And I like to hang on to these breathers when I part stuff out because it seems like they always disappear and you're looking for them. So I got a nice collection of those. I'll sell it to Zach. Real cheap. Go say hi, Duff. All right, back at her. Did you ever notice that my dog's the same color as your pickup? one of the colors. Chinstrap got his bump stops off there. He's still leaving this hose hang there for future reference. That's probably the breather that already broke once. Yeah, I guess we're gonna throw the flip kit on there, slide her in place. Ooh, look, more rivets falling out. That was fun. I had to walk away for a while because that was real loud between the grinding and the air hammering. And Zach said tech tip of the day is
Wash the bottom of your pickup. So when you're air hammering and hammering on it, you don't have to get showered in gravel.
oh look, got another one. I collect those. They're like pogs. Real handy. Zach collects Treks, the little finger skateboard things.
Tech decks.
Tech decks. That's what they are. Duff's not impressed. Duffy! Yes, that's the camera. You don't have to snip it or put your butthole against it. Well, Zach couldn't get the drive shaft in because we use the center holes on these flip kit blocks. So now we need to pick it up and move it back and use the front holes. Apparently, that was not in the instructions. And that's Zach's other tech tip of the day. Make sure you wrap some electrical tape around your universal joint so you don't lose the cap. All right, after couple of hang-ups, Zach's making a breather. There you exhaust is gonna have to be adjusted because there's gonna be some interference from the LMC exhaust kit, but Zach says there's plenty of room and he left those loose, hence the exhaust leaks to move back. The Chinese extensions that he used for the shock towers, or the shock extensions, leave a little bit to be desired. Had to do a little reaming. Had to find some different hardware because the hardware they provided wasn't ideal. There you can see the flip kit. No welding required. Make sure you use the front holes to AKA to slide the rear end back. We thought we needed to shorten the drive shaft, but it actually turned out to be just perfect. You can see up front here, it's got just enough room to tail housing to go back and forth. And there you can see the shock extension. It's got the one bolt that goes through the existing hole and then the one new bolt to clamp it in place. That's the one that Zach had to ream out. Park brakes hooked up, brakes hooked up. He's working on that cable. And we should be able to bleed brakes and go to the front. That's about how much room you got between the axle shaft and the frame rail. Looks like, oh, I don't know, 3.5 inches. Maybe 3. So, and then you bang into it, and that's where you need your notch. But Zach's not doing that yet. To be determined.
And continued.
And continued. Well, now we're moving on to the front. Brakes are bled. A little bit of exhaust work to do in there, but yeah. Just a little bit lower to earth. Zach said we were at about 33 inches before. Survey says, what are you guessing, Zach?
26?
Gosh darn it. 26 and a half. Pretty good guess.
Pretty surprising guess.
So it looks like if we're going to 26 and a half, we got to go, and we're at 31 right now. So carry the potato. That means we got to go 4.5 inches to be level. That sounds like 2 coils to me. Let's just do it. 2 coils, all or nothing. Here we go. Well, here we are, front left side. So quick and dirty way to lower these things is cut that bump stop off. That gives you like 5 inches. You could do it with like a zip wheel, or there's some spot welds if you're really good with a drill, but I don't want to screw up the A-arm, so I'm just gonna cut her right along the bottom edge all the way around. Get rid of that. We don't need bump stops. Hey, what was your catchphrase? You, if you ain't crocking and socking, you ain't rocking. What was something? You ain't dropping unless you're bump stopping. There we go, that's what it is. Got her. So we're gonna cut that off all the way around. It'd be real easy to do with a zip wheel if you had the whole control arm on the ground. And then we're gonna go into that spring and we're gonna torch. Oh, looks like it ends over here on this far side. You probably can't see my finger. That would be one, and that's gonna be tough to cut her all the way back there. So we'll see where we got. We'll update on the floor what how much we cut out. Let's do this. Duff says, paint me like one of your French girls. Well, we started with a 1.5 coils, and because of the double D, single D shape, we couldn't get the top part to spin, so we ended up setting her down on the ground. It was, what do you say, 29 inches, started at 31, so we came down about 2 inches with a 1.5 coils, so then we decided to cut that second half out, so we're down to 2 coils. There's the bump stop we whacked out of there with the gas axe, and now we're at 28 inches. So we just did the one side, and then we put the level on across the wipers, close enough for girls that Zach goes with. No offense, Mrs. Chinstrap. And we thought it sat a little bit high in the front, but if you put the level on the body line like I got here, just pretty much level. So the wheel wells are deceiving. The front one opens a little bit higher. I don't know if that's for steering or what, but I think the decision is that Zach's gonna run her for a while, see if it settles a little bit after we do the other side. And then if we wanna go down a little bit lower, we can lay the torch there in the bottom and try to get her to flatten out in the bottom of the control arm a little bit. That'll help it from kind of springing around like they say they do. But it's not making any funny noises right now. Looks a heck of a lot better. So just gotta go.
Definitely not a monster truck anymore.
No more monster truck. Yeah, go to the other side. Oh man, you put that valance on the front and she'll be right down in the weeds.
5 inch or the 3.5?
Let's go 3.5.
Yeah, 5 inches is a little excessive.
All right, we'll do the other side and probably call her a night. Do a walk around another day. Well, 8 hours later, it's dark out. Duffy's calling her a night. And the double D is about 6 inches lower all the way around. Looks pretty good. Good enough for what it's for. The second spring I cut out, I cut her into several smaller sections just to make it easier to fish out of there. Should have done a walk around before we started, but here it is. Looks like the top of the wheel wells are right around that 27-inch mark.
Yeah, 26 and a half, 27.
So we're hoping it maybe settles a little bit in the front. If not, we can heat those coils up, but I think it's pretty good for now. Little exhaust work left to do in the back because it's the way the differential's hitting and then just the way it kind of dumps out. Not in a real good spot, kind of hanging crooked and low as well. So that'll be next. And some power brakes. This was a 6-cylinder 3-speed pickup, so we got to convert. We already converted to an automatic tilt column, but we need to get rid of the clutch pedal, manual brakes, so we're going to go to power brakes. Duff came out to say hi.